Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to the qualifying watch-along for the 2026 Japanese Grand Prix. As I said on Thursday, Wednesday actually, wasn't it? One of my favourite tracks on the calendar, and I'm, as always, looking forward to seeing what we see today in qualifying. Hopefully, we're going to get as good or as an unpredictable qualifying as we got in China 2 weeks ago, hopefully. Let's see. Lots to talk about, I'm sure. We'll get into all of that shortly. I'll go through the FP3 times in just a second. And if you get your mornings and hellos and heys in the chat, I'll give you some shout outs as well before we get started properly in a few minutes. Of course, qualifying starts about 25 minutes from now, so we've got a little bit of a chat time, which I like to have, warm myself up. It is quite cold this morning, so I start shivering like a weirdo. It's just because it's a bit chilly. Michael says no picture. Let me know, chat, if everything's okay. Morning, Michael, I should say. Hope you're all right, mate. I think it's working okay my end, so hopefully it's a quick refresh, mate. Might help you out. So I'll come and do shout-outs in chat. Let me know if there are any more problems, but I think we seem okay on my feed. But yeah, thank you everyone in chat. Yeah, fine for everybody else. So just give it a refresh, Michael. Hopefully all okay. Kimi Antonelli topped FP3 if you're interested early this morning. I didn't watch it. I was still in bed because, 40 now. I was 40 on Tuesday. It's happened. Not the existential crisis I thought it was going to lead to be fair. But it was good in the end. 129.362. George Russell P2. 2.5 tenths off his teammates. Charles Leclerc, though, 8 tenths off the fastest time. That is, yeah. There was a point yesterday with Piastri setting the fastest time in P2 where we all thought, hang on a minute, or some of us thought, hang on a minute, Stewart on Blue Sky wasn't so sure, and here we are a day later. Yes, Oscar Piastri P4, a second off now. Lewis Hamilton just behind him P5. No confidence in the car yesterday. Hopefully he's feeling better with it today. Lando Norris P6. I know he didn't get out for quite a while this morning, 20 minutes to go before he got out on track because of an ERS issue, so that got resolved. That's good. Nico Hulkenberg P7, 1.2 off as well. So great lap from him in practice. Max Verstappen P8. He doesn't seem very happy again this weekend. Gabriel Bortoleto 9th. Pierre Gasly 10th. Isack Hadjar 11th. Liam Lawson 12th. Then we had Arvid Lindblad in 13th. Ocon 14th. Bearman 15th. Albon 16th. Colapinto 17th. Sainz 18th with his new haircut. Very nice. Valtteri Bottas 19th. Sergio Perez 20th. 21st for Lance Stroll. And 22nd for new dad Fernando Alonso. He won't be watching, but congratulations to Fernando and his partner for the safe birth of their baby this weekend. So it seems kind of crazy that Fernando's not already a dad. I had it in my head that he was, but no, it is, yeah. Biggest concern is that Aston Martin were 4.1 seconds off the pace of Kimi Antonelli, so not a great look on Honda's home circuit, is it? So, yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night to Annette. Says, I'm the first one now, where's my crown? Fudd gave Annette a crown. Good morning to you two. Hey to Michael again. Hey to Sad Mariners fans. Says, good morning, Sean. 2:30 a.m. in the US. Please don't use my predictions this week. Ferrari are not back. Pascal, morning to you, mate. Says, greetings from Malta, Sean and chat. Hope everyone is doing well. I assume you're on holiday, Pascal, and not just got lost on the way to the shops, because that's quite a mistake. But yeah, I hope you're having a good time. I know my mum and dad have gone to Malta more than a few times and they love it there, so hope you're having a nice time. Hey Trance, 1:30 a.m. in Michigan reporting in. Let's go Bottas and Hamilton. Hey to Tim, hey to Ashvik as well, and to Dudbike. Hope you're having a good one. Says, hey, just before midnight here in Western Canada. There we go. So yeah, time zones, let me know where you're watching from. But yeah, it's what, 5:39 here in the UK now, so yeah, it's early. Last early one until, for me, of course, for us in the UK and Europe. But is it Vegas, the next early start for Europe? I think. Hey to Adrian, says, what was Piastri doing during FP3, weaving all over the track? What, energy harvesting or something? Not sure, Adrian. I can't lie. I haven't watched FP3. I wasn't going to get up for that and then go back to sleep. I've never been a big FP3 fan, so I wasn't up for that one. I watched FP1 and FP2 with records. We had after recording, we had the weaving on the track from Colapinto, was it, on the run to 130R? Hey to Says King Gannon here, but that's Rocket Raccoon, isn't it? Says Sean, I'm here. Love from the Low Star State as always. It's 12:30 here, and I'm listening while trying to get the water heater working in the new house. Hope chat is having a great day too. I hope you get that sorted, mate. That sounds like it's going to be a pain, and hopefully you can fix that yourself without needing to spend a fortune, because I can imagine that ain't going to be cheap, is it? Sorry to worry you. If I've worried you at all there, I apologise. But yeah. I think Vegas is the next early one. In fact, John T put on in the comments of the preview about 7 hours ago, just saying we haven't got an afternoon, a traditional European start time until June, which I'm sure plenty of you on the other side of the world find that hilarious. And it's like, suck it up. But I'm quite happy. I've always said this. I actually prefer the early morning races or the late night races, because then you've still got your weekend. So, yeah. Hey Edgar, hope you well, mate. It says Maryland, US, with UK weather, wet, miserable, cold. Yeah, sounds about right. Hope you well, mate. And King Gannon again says good thing. My pops is good at this shit. Yeah. Usually I need my dad for stuff like that, because I wouldn't know where to start. But not sure what to talk about this morning. If you've got any questions, pop them in chat and I'll answer a few of them. I've seen quite a lot of talk this weekend so far about 130R and the revisionism we seem to be doing about that. A lot of people talking about how these new rules have ruined 130R, have neutered, I think was one word I saw, 130R, and I'm sat here thinking, hasn't 130R been neutered for a long time now? It's not it's not the 130R it used to be. I believe literally as well. Literally not 130R anymore. So I think when they made the changes in the mid-2000s or the mid-noughties, wasn't it? When they made the changes there, that's when that got neutered. It's nothing to do with these new regulations. They're not helping. But I think pretending that this hasn't been 130R as we know it for a very long time is a little bit disingenuous, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. It is a shame because it's a cracking corner, or it used to be a cracking corner. It still is. But I think, for me, 130R lost a lot of its magic when we watched, 2019 was it? Charles Leclerc going around the 130R corner, one-handed, fiddling with a mirror. I thought, okay, so yeah, that's not what it used to be then. So yeah, I don't know why that's suddenly become a big issue. I assume because we can only be negative. And at every opportunity to be negative, we will be. So there we go. Pascal says on holiday, went to Malta for the Luxembourg game against Malta in the Nations League C playoff game. First leg that we won 2-0. Headed to Luxembourg tomorrow for the second leg on Tuesday. Nice. Enjoy, mate. Have a nice time. And Ashvik says Ferrari are losing almost 50 kilometres an hour coming into the chicane. How can they gain during the lap? I honestly thought this track was going to suit Ferrari more than the last couple because of the medium high-speed corners, but it just... I'm not saying Mercedes was sandbagging yesterday in FP2, but maybe just different programs. But they've rocked up today and just blown everybody away, haven't they? So I don't honestly know. I don't think there's a lot anyone could do to stop Mercedes at the moment. And I don't think this is exclusively to do with compression ratios, as I'm sure people will say, but I think they've just built a very good car. Ferrari's car isn't bad. McLaren's car isn't terrible. I mean, compared to where they were last year, it's awful. But it's not a bad car. It's just Mercedes have built a rocket ship. So I suspect we're going to have to suck it up a little bit this year, or people who don't like Mercedes are going to have to suck it up a bit this year, because they seem to be clearly the team to beat and could be on for another one too. I don't think they did 3-1-2s from the start of the season. They didn't, did they, in 2014 when they dominated, because Lewis Hamilton retired from Australia. So it's quite impressive when you put it like that. Become a member, get a helmet, says Golf Balls. Hey, mate, hope you well. Yes, don't forget, become a member, get a helmet. I will say, I'm out tonight. It was my birthday on Tuesday, so I'm out tonight with family. I am going to be live in the morning, I believe, with John T. I'll have to double check that with him, but I might be on my own. I'll see what he says. I may be hungover. Any super chats, any contributions via Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description, always greatly appreciated. Some of that money may go on beer tonight. Just so you're aware, I'm not going to lie. So if you want to drop super chats to support the channel, greatly appreciated, but just bear in mind that may go on alcohol and not necessarily on the channel. And I should be ashamed saying that, really, but you're only 40 once, which I got told a lot this week. despite the fact you're only any age once. Such a strange expression to me. You're only 40 once, or only 30 once, or whatever. You're only any age once, unless you're lucky enough to not be like that. I don't know. But Fudd says McLaren seems to be second so far. This weekend, when they're not broken in the garage. Yeah, hopefully Lando's issues don't crop up again, and hopefully, wouldn't it be nice tomorrow for Oscar Piastri just to see him start a race? I hope Oscar Piastri can start the race tomorrow. That'd be great. Thank you, Pascal and Michael, as well, for your happy birthday wishes. Really appreciate that. Maybe they turned up their engine because reports were saying they have some power in the bag, says Ashvik. That was something I think Ferrari had said, hadn't they? They thought Mercedes were holding back. I think that was before they came into this weekend. So I think Ferrari believes, and maybe others do as well, that actually Mercedes in these first two races haven't given it everything at all. So yeah, they're just showing us side by side. Just put the sound on for me, just for a second. That's a comparison from this year. So I thought it was from last year. But it's not. I think, the whole 130R thing is frustrating seeing them just scrub off speed through there as they approach it. But look, we are where we are. This is what we have for now. So Audi looks quick this weekend. I just hope the cars are reliable, says Pascal. 7th and 9th. Points tomorrow, surely, if they can get there somewhere around there in qualifying today, I would say. The engine thing's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to find out Mercedes have been holding back. I mean, reliability has been a concern for a lot, hasn't it, this year? So far, we've had various issues. So if they can look after it, they will. But kind of depressing for those who get all doom and gloom when one team dominates, if the dominating team is able to not run their engine flat out for the first two races and still finish 1-2 comfortably. Adrian says, happy birthday, by the way, I'm 45, going on 30 in August. Have yourself a nice cocktail. Bonza. There you go, some Australians. Bonza, mate. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I've got to stop with the attempts at accents. It doesn't work, does it? Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much, Adrian. Yes, yeah, I mean, I'm 40 going on 12 mentally, so it's okay. It's all good fun. Also got cool gifts, by the way. You can't. I did put it on the shelf. You can't quite see it. I got the picture of Senna, Prost, Mansell, and PK sat on the wall. Mother-in-law. My in-laws got me that and some money for my birthday, and I got the Ferrari F2004 Lego set as well, even though I've not finished building the rest of them that I've got. But there you go. So that's going to be cool. Looking forward to doing that in the spring break. Something to keep me occupied. Jonty suggested a live stream, but you don't need to hear me getting frustrated with Lego, although it could be quite funny. Thank you very much to Golf Balls for your super chat. Says Beer Fun. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. I'll give you a love heart on there as well. Edward, hey Edward, says, any chance Red Bull might catch up with Mercedes by mid-season? No. Well, any chance, yes. Realistically, looking at where they are now, it's only FP3 that I'm looking at the minute, but they're not. They seem a long way off, and we have to remember that although Red Bull probably will improve, McLaren will also improve, so will Ferrari, and inevitably so will Mercedes. So I think they'll close the gap. They will close the gap, but I don't think they'll catch them. I'm not convinced anyone's going to catch them this year properly. We might see later in the season, or sort of mid-season onwards, as you suggested there, we might see Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull starting to give them a headache at some weekends, but I think this looks at the moment, and I don't think it's controversial to say this, I think it looks like this is Russell versus Antonelli for the title at the moment. Of course, it's going to be fascinating. Part of me wants this rules change around compression ratios or compression ratio tests that's coming in June to change it all. Part of me thinks it'd be quite funny if they changed it and nothing happened and it didn't, everything stayed as it was, and it wasn't that was the issue, and Mercedes have just built a great car. I can't decide which way I want that one to go yet. A bit like the party mode, it's not quite the same thing, but everyone thought that would stop Mercedes domination, and they rocked up and still stuck it on pole, so and won the race, I believe, that year. So I'd be surprised if Red Bull catch them by mid-season, but a couple of years into these regs, start of next season, maybe middle of next season. I think they'll be there. I think their biggest priority at the minute for Red Bull is keeping hold of Max Verstappen. He is not happy, is he? At all. So, yeah, a great performance by the way. I know he got disqualified in the GT racing in the week, but still incredible to just rock up there and win. Even if they get disqualified, it's still quite impressive. So Max enjoys racing, and if he doesn't race in F1, he'll race somewhere, that's for sure. So he might fancy a year out. The more I look at him at the minute, he looks thoroughly fed up and miserable. I think maybe a year out wouldn't hurt him, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll get into speculation around drivers later in the year, but I'd be surprised if they catch Mercedes by mid-season. But I'd like as many teams up there as possible, really. So let's hope they can do something. And really, a few teams I'm concerned about this year. Williams don't look good, and they don't look bad. They look a bit meh. I think we expected a lot more from them. The car is quite overweight, isn't it? So that's a disappointment, but we sort of expected they might be struggling when they were late to Barcelona or didn't turn up to Barcelona. A little bit concerned about Aston Martin, to put it mildly, and I say quite a few teams I'm worried about. Those are the two big ones, but actually I am concerned for Red Bull that they can't turn it, because they're not. This isn't the same as what am I trying to say. This isn't the same as in the past where Red Bull can point at Renault or Honda or whoever else and say, your engine's not good enough, you're terrible. They've got responsibility for the engine and the chassis now. So they've got to fix whatever their issues are. But they've got to do that. It's double the problems, I guess is what I'm trying to say, compared to in the past. You'd fancy Adrian Newey at Red Bull if they built a slightly meh car to be able to make up that difference. I think they've got a good enough team to be able to do that, but have they got a good enough team on the engine side? And that feels a little bit unfair to say, I'll admit that, because the fact they even got an engine built in the time that they did for the first time, yes, with a lot of help from Honda and Ford, of course, they took a lot of Honda personnel, didn't they, is impressive enough. So the fact they are 8th and 11th with a brand new engine is still, that they built for the first time, is still quite impressive. So, I guess adjusting, if you're a Red Bull fan, adjusting, I'm a Verstappen fan, so adjusting expectations this year, if Red Bull could be in the mix for podiums and maybe nick a win at some point, I think that would be a decent season compared to where they are now. But it's not where they want to be, is it? We know that. But I'm going to start waffling now. I tried to make a point. It's 5:53 in the morning and I can't quite make the point in my head, so I'm not going to keep just saying words like would Merck even need to replace someone with Verstappen? Why throw a grenade into a working machine? There's zero reason to sign Max Verstappen to Mercedes now, other than it's Max Verstappen. Antonelli's doing a great job, George Russell's doing a great job. The only thing that you only want to sign Max if he's available, because he's Max Verstappen and you know what he can do. I think the Mercedes links will soon disappear if Antonelli and Russell keep doing what they're doing. But I think for me, it's far more likely Verstappen takes a year out than goes to Mercedes next year. As of right now, that could change in 3 months' time. For do you know what F1's like? Thank you to Edward, says happy birthday. Thank you, mate. Says inside Mercedes, if Antonelli continues to dominate and Russell fails to show first driver quality, he's facing strong pressure to be replaced, potentially by Verstappen. Do you think Verstappen may replace Russell when? I can't sort of partly answer that, but you do make a very good point actually there. If this is supposed to be, or this was expected to be Russell's team to lead once Hamilton left, and they've got the car to win the title now, if he loses out to his young teammate, does that put some pressure on? It's a good point actually, Edward. Something maybe worth a video at some point, maybe even in April, to discuss that, but might be a bit early for driver transfer talk in April, but we'll see how we go. But it's a very good point actually. I've not really thought about it that way, but yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, well, we're about to kick in with the music, so we're 6 minutes away from the start of the session today, so I'll get the track map up shortly as well. It's not a small track map, but because of the shape of Suzuka, sort of longer, isn't it? Rather than, doesn't really fill the box very well, but it's okay. It'll do the job. Please do share the stream around as well, by the way, and drop a like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you are new. Lots to come this season, despite what is going to be. Is it now? Let me try and remember how. Is it 2 after this weekend? It's 2 races in 4, 5, 9 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. So. Yeah, not going to be particularly busy around weekends on the channel, but there will still be content over the next few weeks, over the spring break, as they've started calling it, rather than the enforced break because of race cancellations, which is fair enough, by the way. I'm not criticising that decision. It was the only decision they could have taken. Every time I hear Sky's Just Keep Watching theme tune, I'm reminded of ITV's opening theme from the mid-2000s, but not good. Oh, was that the Moby one? The ITV theme from the mid-noughties. Lift Me Up, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new Sky. I'll make the point I made first weekend of the year. What I liked about their previous one was it kind of built and it felt dramatic, whereas this just feels like... If you watch Sky Sports for the football and they've got that whole greatest of all time song, it just falls so flat compared to the tracks of the past, like Written in the Stars and stuff like that, proper Sky intros. And I kind of feel a bit like that with Sky F1. I just wonder if that's the branding, if you like, that they decided to go with across the Sky channels, hip and cool or whatever. I don't know if it's hip, I don't know what the song is, I don't know who sings it. A Westlife Still Around, it's don't listen to a lot of more modern music now. I don't know if people do listen to loads of it now, but I'm sure they do. I'm going all boom about it now. That's terrible. Pascal says qualifying predictions: Antonelli, Russell, Piastri, and at least one Audi in Q3. I think Audi have got a great shot of both cars in Q3, not just saying that based on what happened in FP3, but I think they're looking in really good shape generally at the moment. So, on track. Off track, it's a little bit messy. But actually, Mattia Binotto has confirmed that Audi are looking for a Wheatley replacement. So he's not going to be the permanent replacement for Jonathan Wheatley. So I thought he might end up being, but they are going to look to replace him. So hopefully Audi can find some stability there. But I mean, I'm intrigued by the personal reasons from Wheatley as to why he's left. I mean, possible. I don't know for sure, but maybe there's an element of not getting on with management, but there's also a possibility he didn't want to live in Switzerland or whatever. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get some more info on that in the future. But yeah, we are getting ready to go. So I will say again, as I just get everything ready on the stream, please do drop a like and subscribe as well if you're new, and share the stream around. Good to have you with me this morning or this afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll come to you throughout in chat. A reminder that this is a live stream of commentary and live timing. I say commentary chat. I'm going to try not to do the old BTEC Crofty impression, but no on-track footage for obvious copyright reasons. Live time provided by Multiviewer, as is a track map. Thank you so much to those guys for allowing us to use the info on these streams. A link in the description to Multiviewer if you haven't already got it. I know lots of you have. It's free to download the app, but you do need some sort of F1 TV subscription, even just the basic one, and it all works fine if you want all the data. So give them a follow on socials and check out the app as well. I keep saying this. It's £2.29 a month in the UK for F1 TV access, which is your baseline one. If you can afford that, it's well worth the money because you have a huge archive of races on there, lots of highlights. You get some of the race weekend content as well, a few days after the fact. I think it's a bargain, to be honest with you. But there you go. That's because I'm an F1 fan, of course. I'm going to say, if you're not an F1 fan, it's probably a rip-off. But if you're an F1 fan, I think it's worth it. We are a minute away from the start of the session, so I am going to be that guy, and I will slip the odd mid-roll into the stream. Yeah. But I'll do it at points that are not too disruptive, don't worry. If you got premium, you can still hear me, so it's all good. But I don't know. I don't know how it works. Some see ads, some don't. Some might not. I'll go out on a limb and say Russell, Leclerc, Piastri top 3. Anthony will go off at Degner and not be in the top 10, says Fudd. The V-Carb livery looks stunning, says Anushka. Hey, Anushka, hope you well. It does. It looks really nice. I like the blue livery anyway. But the red from their spring edition can, it looks fantastic. So if they want to stick with that, that's fine. We've got a lot of white and red on the grid, to be fair, there, haven't we? So a lot of blue and white as well. But we are go for qualifying in Suzuka. So as always, your reminder, 18 minutes for Q1, 15 for Q2. They've changed it this year for Q3, haven't they? Is it 11, 12 minutes for that? I'll double check when we get there. But 3 sessions basically is what I'm saying. Someone will tell me off in chat if I'm wrong. It's fine. 3 sessions. This one is to knock out the bottom 6. Then we'll have another 6 gone. And then we'll have a top 10 shootout for pole position. Weather's nice. No chance of rain, apparently. 16.4 degrees air. 31.9% track temperature at the moment. So not too bad there at all. Elaine, hey Elaine, says Saturday evening, 28th of March, 7 p.m. New Zealand. So excited. Feel sure Piastri will show up and go Kimi. Yeah, I think if there's one driver who I think we should be rooting for just to start the race, it's good on Oscar Piastri. So hopefully he will be able to take the start tomorrow. What did he do? Got reconnaissance laps in Australia. He never made it to the grid, did he? And then didn't even start the race. So maybe we'll get somewhere. Hey ST, hope you're well, mate. It says morning lads and gents. Is that ladies and gents? I think I need to add you as a moderator, Mr. ST, don't I? You can have. I'm not putting you as a manager. That's a terrifying prospect. My God, could you imagine? But there you go, mate. I keep meaning to do that. I keep forgetting. There you go. I spotted you. All sorted. Merck definitely does not need Max, says Sam Mariners fan. They've got is that an AI thing? Rules companion change to the qualified format. 6 cars were limited in Q1, Q2, Q3 has been extended to 13 minutes. So 13 minutes for Q3. Interesting. I thought 12 or 11 in my head. Yeah, interesting. I think I read a thing. Was it someone at the race was saying that we need more graphics to explain the batteries, etc. And I think I sort of agree with the point. But also, we've got a lot of graphics in F1. I think it gets a bit cluttered sometimes. Is my old man complaint of the day. We'll do proper predictions before Q3, by the way, for pole. We'll see how it all unfolds. Timing tower's gone waffy on TV, so not quite sure what is going on there. Yeah, they'll fix that. I'm sure it's disappeared now. So if timing goes funky, just bear in mind, I can't control that. I don't think multi-viewer can either. Actually, it's all uses F1 stuff, doesn't it? So yeah, I can't make you manager, ST. That'll be terrifying. Thank you very much, Edgar, for your super. Edgar. Thank you very much, mate, for your super chat and your continued support. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. He says happy birthday. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate the super chat. And like I say, the support over the years means a lot. And great to have you on the new channel as well. Great to have you on the new channel. And just I had a comment on the preview saying, you know, shame you had to start a new channel. Hope it all goes well. First of all, thank you. Not from Edgar, from somebody else. But just to be clear, I'm having a lot of fun here, and I'm a lot more relaxed. And I think we're in a better place over here. So, anybody worried about that or anything like that, don't worry. It's all good. I'm happy. I've also forgotten that I've changed the colours on my timing. You can't see it on yours, unfortunately. So it keeps confusing me that the colours are different, but that's because it just makes it easier on the timing for me. You should be able to see the different timing colours though on the track map. Should looks like it's working. So apparently Oscar Piastri qualified in the front row for the first time in his career at the 2023 Japanese Grand Prix. Stats. That's what we need. Lots more stats. We love a stat. Ocon 31.4, fastest time at the moment. Long old way to go though. We've got 13 minutes and 40 seconds left yet, so hell of a long way to go in this session. Hopefully we can. I'd just like something mixed up at the front a bit more. It'd be nice to get Piastri to build on what he did in FP2 and split the Mercs or something to make it spicy at the front, but as we saw in FP3, Mercedes responded in pretty emphatic form, didn't they? 8 tenths clear of everybody else. So Also, Kimi Antonelli was 0.6. Russell back to Leclerc in third. So, yeah, maybe not going to happen. But Oscar Piastri, they have changed. They've changed energy. I don't want to get into it because it's just whatever, right? But is it 8 megajoules for qualifying rather than 9 this weekend, or is it the other way around? Let me know, chat. I've got myself muddled here now, but yeah, I think the aim is that it can be more flat out and less charging batteries in qualifying. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that makes, if any. I'd say it again, third weekend in a row, qualifying for me should just be softest tyres, lowest fuel, flat out, fastest driver on pole. None of this energy management. That's not what qualifying should be about. Sab Baroness fan says, have you seen that the Red Bull is apparently 20 kg heavier than the Mercedes? That's around a second a lap in weight, and that's about the deficit they had so far. I didn't see that, but to go back to what Edward asked earlier, if it is a car weight thing for Red Bull, maybe there is some hope they can catch Mercedes towards the middle or the end of the season as they shave that weight off. So I didn't see that. I'll go and have a read of that afterwards, actually. That's a good question or a good comment to throw at me, actually, to have a look at later. I will be going back to bed after the stream because I'm up late tonight. So I will give it a read this afternoon. But yeah, that will explain a lot. They were, a second off in FP3, weren't they, with Max? So if they can find that, maybe. I don't get me wrong. I still think Mercedes are battling for the title here between them. I don't think anyone else is going to stop that. But it would certainly make things interesting later in the season if, the Red Bulls are up there as well as the Ferraris and hopefully McLaren as well. It is. I know it's an inevitability of new regulations, but it's such a shame that we can't. When we reset the regs, we can't find a way of making it so that we get as close as we were towards the back end of for the last couple of years of those last set of regulations. I know it's inevitable. There's no way you can really manage that. A team or a couple of teams are always going to do the best, aren't they, with the regs, and somebody's got to be worst. So it's just a shame the gaps are so big. But hopefully that comes down a bit more quickly than we've seen in the past with new regs, I guess is my point there. On board with Kimi Antonelli on the run to turn 1. Lifting through 1. Braking into 2. 2's not really a braking zone anymore, is it? With the lifting that they're doing going through 1. Coming through the S's up the hill always looks... I think one of my favourite shots, actually, of F1 on race day is the start of the race, and you've got 22 cars this year, of course, snaking up that hill. It always looks fantastic. Through Degner 1, Degner 2, moderately heavy braking into Degner 2. Then the hairpin. I want to just watch the... Yeah, that's not the heavy braking zone. I said that last week or the week before that it wasn't a heavy braking zone, and got pushed back on that by a couple of people. But I don't think the hairpin's the heavy braking zone it once was. Maybe I'm misremembering from the past, but I feel like there was a lot more braking going on there in the past through Spoon. The cars move around. It's fun. Even that very nice Mercedes, it's moving around. And it's great to see the drivers having to fight the cars rather than just having a car on rails. That's what I want to see. But interestingly came off the onboard as they went on the run to 130R. Or out of Spoon. Through the chicane. Around that final corner, and Anton's going to go fastest here, isn't he? Yes, he is. Only just, though, 130.035, half a tenth, best part of clear of Charles Leclerc in second place. It's interesting to see what drivers are taking the quali line on their laps this foot. Yeah, they're taking that tighter line through the final corner, aren't they? Which... Yeah, Russell's only on 5th fastest, by the way. 6/10 off the fastest time, so... yeah, that's a good point. Keep an eye on lines through there. A couple of corners, actually. I noticed that turn at the hairpin. I'm gonna wait for us. Yeah, Hulkenberg there. So he's sort of not middle of the corner, the line he's taking, but he's not as tight as others, and others seem to be a little bit wider through there. So, yeah, maybe there's a a lot of experimenting going on. We've got the resurfacing, which, by the way, I forgot to mention in the preview. I completely forgot they were finishing that this year, but that was the problem with doing the preview on Monday. I didn't have all the information I needed, but I had to do it Monday because I wasn't going to work Tuesday. So, regs resets encourage convergence the year before they're implemented because the top teams try to spend as little dev time as possible on the old cars. Absolutely. It's just a shame we can't replicate that in some other way, isn't it? Neelish, morning, mate, by the way. Hope you're well. Having a good one. I don't know what time it is where you are. Trying to think what time it'll be where you are, Neelish, but you've probably told me before. I forget things. Forgive me. I do forget things. I forget a lot of things. ST says, barely looks like Antonelli touched the brakes through the whole lap, just lifting everywhere, and engine regen instead. Something doesn't feel quite right. I've got a load of oversteer, says George Russell. As we watch Lance Stroll on his lap. Give that Aston a go, George. See what happens with George. He is only P7, 6/10 off his teammate, so yeah. Wouldn't mind another good weekend from Antonelli. It makes my video idea a bit easier to justify as well, which is always a bonus. Always a bonus. Content creator being selfish. Come on, drivers, give me what I want. Bottas through 130R. I mean, off board, it doesn't look spectacular through there, does it? So on board will be interesting. I did see a couple of onboard shots on the old Twitter sphere yesterday. Hamilton's gone fastest in the first sector by 3/4 of a tenth, basically. Still got 6 minutes 20 to go. Q1 always feels really long, and then the rest of qualifying absolutely flies by. I know it is the longest session of the whole session, or the longest part of the whole session, but it still feels long. I guess that's why the others feel shorter, as they are quite a bit shorter. I don't know. 6 a.m. thoughts with Sean. So we should have called the channel for the early races. Watching Hamilton. I keep getting thrown by Hamilton's helmet. He's got a white design with red accents and stuff like that on it, and I'm so used to seeing the yellow that it's or the purple that it's thrown me a bit. But Leclerc is on his way to 130R as well. Not fiddling with his mirror through there. Barely turn the steering wheel through there either, do they? Goodness me. Hamilton only goes third, though. 130.3. 2/10 off his teammate, interestingly. Leclerc about to go fastest, I think. He does indeed, by 1/10 of a second just over. So, good luck there from Leclerc, but don't forget we're not looking at pole, are we here? We're looking at bottom 6. And as Crofty just said, it is Noah's Ark. Williams, Cadillac, Aston. Cadillac have bought an update this weekend, haven't they? And we're race 3 of the season. And I know Aston Martin are an absolute fustercluck at the moment. But if Cadillac can get both of their cars ahead of both of the Astons, for whatever reason, they could be very, very proud of that in their third weekend of the season, given where we thought they were going to be. So I think they'd be very, very happy with that. So good stuff from them. No problem at all. Is it Zarzosa says thanks for broadcasting, no problem. I like doing the quality watch-alongs. I don't like the race watch-alongs. They were cack. Because I just want to watch the racing, but I can watch quality along with you all. We don't have to be too strict about it. Then we can have a bit of fun as well and a bit of chat. So yeah, appreciate you being here as well. So thank you for tuning in, I guess is my response to that one. We can hope for pole, okay. The hopium, Sean, the hopium, yes. We'll hope for pole. A Ferrari pole would be nice. Although I did back Russell for pole in the predictions on Thursday. I can't remember who was it. Kieran got picked randomly for your community representative this weekend in predictions. I think that's what the random generator picked me, so I pinned that one. It's in the preview if you want to go check that one out. Thank you as well for your support on the previews in these first three races. All 3 of them massively exceeding my expectations. So thank you. It's makes it all viable. Max Verstappen then. Let's see what he is going to do. I should say as well, actually, eclipsing all the previews from last year on the other channel. So, whoa, some traffic here for Max at the end of the straight. They're all queuing at the end of the pit lane with 3 minutes to go. I'm sure the cars will get out of the way. That Racing Bulls, lets him go. No worries there. Waits for him to go past. I'd like to stay on board with Max for this lap. I'm going to watch his steering wheel. That's a dead giveaway, isn't it, if the car's not handling too... It's not too bad through the S's. A little bit twitchy on the exit there of turn 4. Couple of bites at 6, sorry. Oh, a little twitch on the exit at 7 as well. Fast left-hander. Coming to the Degners now at 8 and 9. He's 3/10 down in the first sector. Bumps through there. Yeah, not... Doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look on board, to be fair, but doesn't look like the Red Bull we've been used to seeing in more recent years, that's for sure. The livery is stunning. So, there's always that. At least Max can look at his car and go, it's a nice-looking car. I'm sure that's all he cares about. I'm sure that's what he thinks about every night. Oh, at least the car's good-looking, and Sean will be happy. It is a personal best, but I think not a great surprise there. Are these used tyres on the Red Bull as well? He's 7, nearly 8/10 down in the middle sector. What's Hadjar going to do? Is he going to be better than his teammate through there? No, not really. He's a whole second down in the middle sector and not improving either on his own time. Max Verstappen round that final corner. Russell goes purple in the middle sector. 6/10 down for Max and into 6th place, but Russell is improving. What's Hadjar going to do as he comes around that last corner as well? Turn 18. Stays 9th for Hadjar. 130.6 should be okay there, shouldn't he? Russell goes second, half a tenth off Leclerc. A minute and a half to go. I feel it. I feel it as well, Adrian. Absolutely feel it, mate. Q1 feels very... What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say corporate, but I don't mean corporate. So, what's the word for something that has to be done? A necessity, I suppose, rather than particularly exciting. But of course, exciting for those who are trying to get through to Q2. But it doesn't really get exciting until we get to the back end of Q2 and then into Q3, does it? So maybe it's just us, Adrian. I don't know. Everyone else might disagree. Formality, that's a good word for that. Might be the one I was thinking of. Yeah, for a bit of a... Yeah. Morning, Alfie. Mundane, says Dud. Hope you well, Alfie, mate. Just in time for some quality. You're going to miss the mundane Q1 as Dud's gone with there. Mundane. Formality. Necessity. You've arrived for the good stuff. That's what I'm saying. Not that I don't enjoy quality. Just of the 3 sessions, this is the FP3 of the 3 qualifying sessions. It's there. But at the minute, Sainz has just leaped up into 13th place, which is an interesting one for him. And Albon is down on the time he needs to get through. That's the checkered flag for Q1. But we've still got a lot of drivers improving out there, including both of the Aston Martins. So we'll see what the Cadillacs can do. There's Albon up to 16th. That's not going to be enough, is it? Because Lawson's improving. He's ahead of him anyway. But Bearman, I think, will be improving. He is indeed. Colapinto's improving. Lawson's just got 9th. Cracking lap from Lawson, that actually. So we may yet end up with 2 Williams, 2 Cadillacs, and 2 Astons out. But Alonso's giving it everything he can. 21st for Fernando Alonso. 2.7 seconds off the fastest time. Hulkenberg goes up into 6th place ahead of Lando Norris. Bortoletto will be next to cross the line. He goes up to 7th. So Audi are looking good. 1,000th off his teammate there. Anybody else improving? Bottas is improving. Perez is not improving. In fact, Perez is a long way off. Has he completed his lap maybe and then backed out of it? So Bottas, a second of Albon might be okay here. Albon might sneak through. Piastri purple in the middle sector, but still 2.5 tenths down on Leclerc. Round that last corner for Bottas. He's not going to get through. Stays 20th. But yes, both Cadillacs are ahead of both of the Aston Martins. So I think that is, I know Aston have had all sorts of issues this weekend and this season, but that is a real boost that for Cadillac with their update this weekend. So they'll be very happy with that. It doesn't sound exciting, does it? 19th and 20th and 2.5 seconds off the pace with Bottas, but it is still a really good result for them, all things considered. Bearman out as well in 18th. That's a bit of a surprise there, I have to say. Bearman out in 18th place. Albon was knocked out in the end by Colapinto, who was 16th. So we've lost Albon, Bearman, Perez, Bottas, Alonso, and Stroll. Isack Hadjar has been noted for impeding, so keep an eye on that one. Probably post-session, I imagine, before that gets decided, but not sure. It was on sites by the look of it, according to the timing thing. The biggest disappointment this weekend, by the way, I have to say, apart from the fact Aston Martin are in a real mess. 3 tenths off Bottas and then Stroll 2 tenths further back is not great. But the biggest disappointment this weekend so far is that Haas livery. Does it look good? Yes. But for a Godzilla tie-in, I expected more. I'm not going to lie. Bitterly disappointed. In fact, I shall write to Ayo Komatsu myself. Write, not email. I'll write to him. I don't got his address. Sorry it's a bit late. On my way to work. Just hoping this weekend is a big scrap with no one dominating, says Alfie. It doesn't look like the Astons fixed their steering issue, says Zarzoza. I don't... If they have, it's not done much for their speed, so maybe still some issues down there. Also, by the way, Hadjar Science reviewed no further investigation on impeding. Cadillac isn't HRT bad, that's a win already, says Sab Mariners fan. Audi 6th and 7th, so Pascal's happy. Not the Mercedes team gear, it looked like someone spilled flour over them. The wolf on the front wing looks cool, so that's cool. The team wear looks a bit, we've got a tie-in this weekend, let's just throw a wolf on it and do it really badly. But yeah, I think my problem... didn't know that. Sorry. My problem with it is that I saw a lot of mock-up liveries that look really bloody cool. And I was checking Aston Martin's steering issue, sorry. See if anything's been resolved. But yeah, I expected more. It's not... The Mercedes stuff isn't great, is it? I think... Are you talking about vibrations, maybe? I know they've not been resolved. I think Honda said that they're in normal levels on the dyno, which is, that's great, cool, but it's not on track, so it's all right. So I don't care what the data says or your dyno's saying. The drivers are, Alonso having to take his hands off the steering wheel and do all this in the race in China, so clearly it's not within usual levels. So we are between sessions, so I will hit that magic button. I'll do it between the sessions and then that'll be that. But Caddy 2.55% off first, says Nilesh. 18th, damn, that is hard to bear, man, says Adrian. Very good, Adrian. I'll give you that one, mate. That's a good one. And Tommy says, make room for Audi, pushing others back a little bit more than normal. Great to see them competitive. Again, they've... Albon complaining, saying they have 3 races in a row about the car. But yeah, no, to see them, again, back to the point I was making about Red Bull building their own engine for the first time. Audi have built their own F1 engine for the first time. They're 6th and 7th in Q1. So it's going to be... hopefully they can be up there all weekend is what I'm hoping for. Hopefully. Long way to go yet. I saw another car. I think I read that. I didn't read that one. That's fine. Yeah. Alfie says no one dominating is the dream. A little bit of hope after Q1. Yeah, Audi in what position? 6th and 7th. I'm not doing it. I know exactly what you're getting at. My niece is doing my head in with it. All right, I'm not doing it. It's position 6 and position 7. If you want to do it in chat, you do it. I'm 40, all right? I'm not doing that. I'm still doing Memes from the 90s. That'll have to do. Do you know, I'd do it if I understood why. No one seems to have a reason as to why it's a thing. But there you go. People are peopling. It is a great start from Audi. You're right, Tommy. Says Audi has new chassis and engine. Almost a great. It's. I know that they've got an experienced team. They took over Sauber, so there's a hell of a lot of experience in that team, but still, multiple management changes over the last couple of years, if you recall, and all of that. I think they've done a great job, and they're still not totally there with management because Wheatley's left, hasn't he? So, yeah, we go for Q2. Little pause for a timestamp there, cheeky pause, but yeah. I don't mind a bit of fun around the memes. By the way, I'm not being grumpy. I'm just not doing it. All right, I'm not doing it. It's cringe. Stick with just yeets and dabs. Exactly. Yes. I'm trying to think of something from the 90s that might have been a meme. Now, by today's standards, if we'd had Twitter and TikTok and stuff other than forums back then, Hotmail. MSN Messenger, you know. If Audi are this good in year one of making their own edges, they'll be getting regular podiums within a couple of years, says Fudd. It's now about reliability, skill, and luck, just like everyone else, says Tommy. And my birth was a good 90s meme, says ST. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm not going to say it was a joke, that'd be harsh. But yeah, I'm proud of the team, the work we've done over the last year to get us to this point. That's the Thursday paddock interview from Lewis Hamilton, is the quote on screen now. Because apparently now, on top of every other graphic we have, we need quotes from Thursday. F1's most boring day of the weekend. Sure, why not? Why not? On board with Lewis Hamilton, actually. Antonelli purple in the middle sector, but is actually on a lap, so I'm not quite sure how that's popped up. I guess he is fastest, that's for sure. See what happens. So is that... Sorry, just back on liveries. Is, from what I've seen, unless I've missed something, the wolf on the front wing is the only thing that's changed on the special livery being run by Mercedes, right? Ooh, twitchy from Antonelli in turn one. Again, it doesn't look like a massive amount of braking in his first sector at all. They're lifting through one, which means they don't really need to brake through two. Then they are, I imagine, just lifting through these the snake up the hill. So is the first proper braking point Degner 1? Or are they lifting? Yeah, sure. Well, definitely Degner 2 is a braking point, but yeah, they're definitely not. I don't know. It just looks very not braking, if that makes sense. It's the wolf on the Mercedes called Toto, says golf balls. No. I'm going to call it. Trying to think of a name of a W that isn't William. Wobbit. Alfie says, okay, sure, you're 40 now, so you're still allowed to do the memes. You just have to add a massive amount of cringe to it to embarrass anyone around you. Take it from a 42-year-old. Yeah, I like... Dad jokes is my thing at the minute, Alfie. I'm not a dad. I've got a dog, I suppose. I could say I'm a dad, but I'm not a dad. It's just dad jokes at the minute for me. But dad jokes are for testing streams, not for quality watch-alongs. So I won't start with them just yet. That'd be embarrassing for everybody. Antonelli goes fastest again, 29.7, 3.5 tenths clear of his teammate, which is interesting. Apparently, Jensen Button made us a P6 and P7 reference. Oh, was he sideways there, Leclerc, through the final corner? Was pushing hard there. 100th off Antonelli's time. Everyone on used tyres at the front, by the way. Antonelli, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, and Verstappen, who goes... Oh, no, Verstappen's on new tyres, goes 5th. Sainz on used tyres. Everybody else, I think, on new tyres. So what's Hadjar going to do? Hadjar over the line. Goes ahead of his teammate by 1/4 of a tenth, let's say. Nothing in it at all between those two. Still struggling with the rear end, says Russell. We're in part Ferme though, aren't we? So not a lot they can do to the setup, just a tweak of front wing maybe. A few adjustments they can make here and there, but nothing major. So he's going to have to do something between sessions and before the race tomorrow. But I don't know what they can do other than a few little tweaks on the front wing, etc. So in that's Lindblad coming out the final couple of corners with that lovely livery on the Racing Bulls. Hulkenberg goes 7th. Purple in the final sector, actually. Neelish says not having to brake much is one of the fun parts of Suzuka. Always like taking a low power, high grip car around here, like a GT 300 RX7. I get that. I think it feels more so this year because they're doing a lot of lifting and coasting for regen. So I think that's why it feels like they're not braking more. You know, the few big-ish braking zones that we would have normally around here don't seem to be that big, apart from, of course, that final chicane. But even that is not as big as normal because they're already losing speed through on the run and through 130R. So more noticeable, I guess, is what I'm saying. You know, but I thought this might fall somewhere between Australia and China, but it might fall close to Australia, actually, than I expected. But Piastri's about to put in a good lap. Purple, over the line he goes. Purple again to go 0.3 quicker than Antonelli, but Piastri is on the new tyres. Antonelli was on a set of used tyres, so just bear that in mind. Norris is on new tyres. Only 4th and 3/10 off his teammate, so... Interesting. But yeah, Norris missed a lot of FP3. So maybe a bit of that is there, but it's still a hefty gap to your teammate, isn't it? So that needs to come down. But 4th place, that's where I'd put McLaren anyway, so it's not terrible. Piastri good though up there, but again, that's on fresh tyres. Antonelli, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, and Sainz all on used tyres. Russell through the final chicane. Replay, I'm guessing. Yeah, big correction on the exit there. And through that final corner, actually. Oversteering. Messy. Yeah. Doesn't look as bad off board. Looks pretty interesting on board. Exciting. Why not? Well, this is the thing, Two Left Feet. Hey, mate, hope you well. It says, will Piastri even get to start, though? Yeah, Piastri can take all the poles he wants. Kind of pointless if you're not going to bother with Sunday. I really hope he can start. I really do. Alex Albon talking to Rachel Brooks. Took me a second. So what I thought he said about his driving style. He's been complaining for 3 races long, but sure, it's my driving style is what Alex Albon said on the radio. So doesn't want to say any more to Rachel Brooks. Fair enough. Maybe struggling a bit with it. Oh, definitely struggling a bit with it. But yeah, out qualified by Sainz for sure. Sainz will be at least 16th. Albon 17th. What they're looking at the on the Racing Bulls. Just a few checks, nothing to worry about. Yeah. We're in that lull. There's only Russell out on track at the moment. I think he will probably pit. Oh no, he's just got out, so he's going to get a lap in the gap. Is what he's going for. You'd expect the Mercedes to get through, unless something goes wrong. Out go the Ferraris. Nice fresh set of soft tyres there for Lewis Hamilton. I assume will be the same for Charles Leclerc as well. And here goes Russell to start his lap. Is that Russell? Yes. Yeah. Russell and Antonelli's helmet seem similar on board from that angle, weirdly. So yeah, lifting through 1, which means not really any braking through 2. Little touch of brake there through 5. But mostly, recharging through there. A lot of lifting, a lot of coasting. I'm just going to watch his brake graphic here. I'm just going to keep an eye on this. So, no brake at all through the first Degner. full brakes, if you like. That the meter filled up for the second Degner into turn 10. And then, still hitting the pedal pretty hard into the hairpin, to be fair. And now we've come off board. That would be interesting to see the rest of the lap, but they won't want to show us too much on the run down to 130R, I imagine. But yeah, a little touch of brake. So no braking at all in Degner 1, which I don't think is a massive shock, is it? Really? Well, I expected some, I suppose. I wonder if Lewis is taking too much out of his tyres in S1. Rocking S1, but losing out on a lot in S2, says Fudd. Possibly, yeah. I'll keep an eye on that when he gets to his lap. That's a good thing to keep an eye on, yeah. That's the trouble with the soft tyres, isn't it? On a lot of tracks, is making them last the entire lap. But it must be so hard as a driver not to want to just take all the life out of them when you've got it there. Those lovely grippy tyres, you want to use it all up, don't you? So we'll keep an eye on his sector times here. So helmet cam. See what he can do. So 32.1 for Piastri is the fastest in the first sector in this session. So that's where I'll have to measure it from. A little bit of traffic, but did get out of the way for Hamilton there. Nice. It's so good up that hill. It's still great watching the cars around Suzuka. Whatever. Quarter of a tenth down in the first sector. 32.1. Max Verstappen is going out with another fresh set of tyres. Charles Leclerc has just thumped in a first sector that's 3/10 quicker, over 3/10 quicker than Oscar Piastri. So that's something to keep an eye on. See what Hamilton does in the middle sector. So he's again 3/10 down on his teammate in that first sector. Hamilton will be first one through the middle sector. So he's not improving, Hamilton. Better middle sector, but still 3.5 tenths down on the fastest time. Can Charles Leclerc keep this pace up? That's what I want to know. He can indeed, a quarter of a second up in the middle sector. Watch Lewis Hamilton get a helmet cam. Nice. So half a second down Lewis Hamilton in the end. Actually improved in the final two sectors, interestingly, while we're watching that one. And Charles Leclerc's just got a 10.5 quicker than Piastri. I think we're missing something here, says Russell. We couldn't lose this much pace. Have a look through everything. So Russell not sure on whatever is going on with his car at the moment. We're on board with Max through this. Whoa, big correction on the exit there of turn 2. Using a lot of curb. When we were on board with him earlier, that it certainly looked a bit cleaner. He's just pushing that a little bit harder. He needs to. He's down in P10, so he might be in bother here. Max Verstappen, 31.7 to beat. Oh, ouch. 6/10 down in that first sector. It's difficult because my favourite team is Ferrari. My favourite driver at Ferrari is Leclerc, and my favourite driver is Max Verstappen. So kind of like, that's bad, but also great lap, Charles. Mixed emotions, that's for sure. But yeah, they're really scrappy through that first sector compared to what we saw when we were on board with him earlier in the session. Piastri and Norris not improving, both of them on used tyres, though, so not massively surprising. Using all the curb he can on the exit of the spoon curve, though. He's 9/10 down in the middle sector. Oh, dear. Overall, I should say, through the middle sector. On the lap is what I'm saying. But he is improving his times. Personal best. Max Verstappen goes 9th. 9.5 tenths off the fastest time. McLaren's aren't going to improve here. They're on, and in fact, Hadjar's just overtaken his teammates. If that lap stands, no issues with track limits. He's out-qualified Max again, as Isack Hadjar. Second time in 3 races, is that? Wow. We've still got a minute to go in this session, so lots of time. But I would say certainly Verstappen in trouble here. possibly Hadjar. Look at Gasly up there in 9th place again, doing Pierre Gasly things. Ocon's now 11th. That's a sigh of relief. 130.1 is a projected knockout. That does put everybody from Hadjar down under threat as Gasly goes 6th. Purple in the final sector as well from Pierre Gasly. Underrated, that lad. Hulkenberg stays 12th. That could save one of the Red Bulls. Colapinto only 13th. Lindblad is improving. He's a half a tenth down on Max Verstappen. Bortoletto's already through. Purple in the final sector, 8th place. Now, if Lindblad gets this right, he might be able to do it, but it might. He does. Arvid Lindblad knocks out Max Verstappen. Out goes Verstappen. Lindblad goes 10th. Verstappen down to 11th. Nobody else. Lawson is improving. But is it by enough? We're not watching him. We're watching Antonelli. The flag is out, by the way. I'm a little bit delayed on that one. Sorry. But Lawson 14th. There we go. Doesn't improve enough. But it's still an improvement. Up to 14th place. So we've lost... Wow. Carlos Sainz, Franco Colapinto, Liam Lawson, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, and Max Verstappen as Antonelli just goes, you know what, I'm going to put a lap in and goes 2.5 tenths clear of Charles Leclerc. Hamilton improves to P4. Max Verstappen is out. Out-qualified by teammate Isack Hadjar and mini-teammate Arvid Lindblad. Is that what... That's it now. All Toro Rosso drivers are mini teammates. I think there is something wrong with the car, mate. It's completely undrivable suddenly in this qualifying, says Max. Oh dear. So that's not improve his mood too much, is it? Max Verstappen out in Q2. I'm not. This isn't an emotional reaction to him getting knocked out in Q3. In Q2, sorry, but. He just looks thoroughly fed up, doesn't he? Thoroughly miserable with it all. Question. Maybe not, but he goes off to drive GT cars, wins, gets disqualified. How much do you think that affects the mood coming into this weekend? You've driven something that you can drive, that you're happy driving, that you had fun driving, and then you turn up to a formula that you're not enjoying with the rules at the moment. That's got to... It must do. I'm just trying to think of a comparison in life, like in the real world, what that would be like. But, you know, you've had a great week with all of that. Yeah, you got disqualified and that sucks, but you still had a lot of fun. And then you come to something you're not enjoying. It must be sort of like a double kick in the nuts, really. I guess is what I'm saying. So I don't know why I'm asking the question. I'll put it to you, chat. You might go, doesn't affect him at all. It's Max Verstappen. But there you go. Just, his mood towards F1 rather than his mood in general. Like Sad Mariners fan there, his disqualification wasn't anything he did. It was an admin error. Let's call it that. I like that admin error. It works. But yeah, no, I just mean, you know, you've had fun in GT. You're not enjoying Formula One. You've had that fun, and then you come back to Formula One. Does that then make you think, oh, I don't want to do this. I can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what, actually, ST? You've got it. That's it. It says it's just going out. It's having a nice vacation and then being hit with the depression of having to go back to work. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, and I'm sure everybody else does as well. Or even not even just a holiday, just having some annual leave, a week off from work, and then you get to like the Saturday, Sunday, you're like, oh, back to work on Monday. Not that I have to worry too much about it now. I'm self-employed again, so you know. There is that, but I totally get what you mean. Yeah, oh great, back to work, maybe. Golf Ball says, Max out, get in there. Put Max in the Toro Rosso already, says Submariners fan. Dave says, well. Hey, Dave says, morning, just woken up. Have I missed any surprise during quali? Bearman getting knocked out, and now Max Verstappen getting knocked out. There you go, mate. Sorry I missed your message earlier. Hope you're doing all right. Fud says, insert Nico Rosberg meme here. Is Max over? Great lap from Bortoletti to get to Q3. Yeah, I thought we'd see both Audis, actually, so I'm happy for you, Pascal, and for Audi to have Bortoletti up there, but a bit disappointed not to see Hulkenberg up there, but he wasn't too far off, was he, in the end? 3/10 off, maybe, something like that, off top 10, so not terrible. Hey Kai, mate, says, I think he is ready for going, basically interviewing for a new job over in a GT car. I could see him taking a year out, and that's not based, we said this before the session even started, it's not based on just today's qualifying, but just watching his mood. There'll be a point, we know, because there'll come a point where he stops complaining that the car's bad and he's not enjoying it, or that the rules are bad and he's not enjoying it, and he'll suddenly look relaxed, and then we'll go, hang on a minute. But I hope not. I think this will annoy somebody, I'm sure, but I think F1 is a poorer sport without Max Verstappen, as well as the likes of, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and others as well, I'm sure. It'd be a shame. But also, he just wants to race. He'll race somewhere. It won't be the last if he does decide to walk away. Tommy says, meow, Max. Oh, well, his car has issues and his magic won't work. Neely says, I'm surprised it wasn't a Mustang GT3 car now that those are a thing now. Didn't know that. I don't follow GT racing enough, really. Yeah. Max is still here at the end of the day. He's going to have his ups and downs like anyone, says Alfie. And Hulkenberg made a mistake in his final laps, says Pascal. Good info. Thank you, mate. What happened to Lawson, says Kai? Not sure. Because he was improving on his lap. And then only jumped up to 14th. So I'm not sure. Lindblad on the radio. Come on, mate. That's got to be a good one. And then told us through to Q3. Well done. And he said, come on. I'm sure, more excited than I did. Great, come on. But yes, we've still got Q3 to go. Very much ready for hopefully another something like China Q3 will be fun. But at the moment, it feels like Kimi Antonelli is favourite for pole, not just because he's sat at P1. Let me know your predictions in chat. Who's going to get pole position? I'm going Antonelli. It needs to be Russell for my points. I don't actually know what Kieran picked for you guys. I better go check that, really, hadn't I, on my comments. So the community, represented by Kieran Stepney, I believe it is. Did I not pin the comment? I'm sure I pinned the comment. You're all lying to me. I'm sure I did. If not, I may have to pick another one. There it is. There, yeah. I thought I pinned it. I'll repin it. I definitely did. It's just being a YouTube thing. So Antonelli pole is what the community have. Win Hamilton, podium Kimi and Oscar. And then fastest lap, Hamilton finishes 13. Bold one is for Cadillac drivers will be 11th, or one of the Cadillac drivers will be 11th. We are go for Q3. So they're your predictions for the community. I'm going to screenshot that so I don't forget it, because I do have a tendency to forget things. So you guys need Antonelli, basically. Oscar P1 says Michael. Yeah, I am using a random generator thing for comments for the community, because I don't want to pick them myself, because then I can subconsciously rig it in my favour, can't I? Then just always pick that when you pick the same as me, I'll just pick that one. So do it randomly. It's fair, I think. Yeah, Oscar P1 for Michael. The Hope him says Leclerc. The realist in me says Hulkenberg, says ST. Mem Bortoletto. Max, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. Quote from the doc in Back to the Future 3. I think my favourite 3-part trilogy style movie series. I think we've had the conversation before. Do we count it as a trilogy? It feels like it's in 3 parts, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, Antonelli just starting his lap. Lindblad going through means we get more of the Racing Bulls livery, which can only be a good thing, says Fudd. I can't not see Kimi on pole, but it won't be a lockout. Leclerc second, says Fudd, which you'd then fancy Leclerc to be leading into on the first lap, wouldn't you? From there, it is interesting. So I'm sort of experimenting in this stream. I won't do any more, but I'm just watching the viewers. When I pop an ad in, just to test it in mid-session, we're losing sort of 20 to 25 people. So do adverts annoy people that much in live streams? I don't know, because I've got premium, so I never see ads on YouTube anymore. But if so, I'll push super chats and things more, because streams need to make pennies. I don't know why I had to do the accent, but yeah, if they really annoy people, I'll stop it. I won't do it anymore. I've got this is community-driven channel, really, so fan channel. So I'm quite happy to take your feedback on that and not do it anymore. But I will bother you more for super chats and likes and subs. Antonelli, purple. I mean, Russell's got purple in the first sector. Just do tyre talk instead of commercials, says Discus 2. Yeah, tyre talks constantly. Maybe that's the thing for the future. If a super chat comes in, I have to think on the spot of an F1 related tyre talk segue or something. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Not today. It's too early. We'll wait till we get to more reasonable times. Antonelli is fastest, but three tenths quicker than his teammate in second place. Antonelli looking very, very good here indeed. Round the final corner because Gabriel Bortoletto up into third place on the used tyres, 1.5 seconds behind Russell, 1.8 off the fastest time. But yes, that is on a used set of tyres, as Gasly, also on a used set, goes third. Only 1.2 off George Russell, interestingly. Used tyres for Gasly and Bortoletto, and of course Lindblad as well, who goes fifth. Lindblad's going to lose his time, though, for track limits. I think they do more in live streams compared to normal videos because it can feel like you're missing out on what's going on compared to a video where the content also pauses. I don't mind, but could be why. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, no, that could be why. Yeah, that is a fair point, I suppose. But what I did during testing as Hamilton goes fifth is I'd pop a mid-roll in and then I just wouldn't say anything significant. Some would argue I never say anything significant. My other half certainly does. But yeah, no, so I try to do that. But yeah, I've got no problem stopping it. I just want to try it because it always bothers me every single time I come on stream. It's always like, now would be a great time to insert an ad. Shut up, YouTube. Shut up. Hadjar goes seventh. And that's on a new set of tyres as well. So 3 tenths clear of Gasly, who's the first one unused. So it looks like it's Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari. We are Noah's Arking it at the moment. 2 Mercedes, 2 McLaren, 2 Ferrari. You always say significant stuff. That's why we all came over here, says Dave. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. I'll tell my partner that they're wrong. I went, you're wrong. Dave said you're wrong. I love that Dave says you always say significant stuff and then I go quiet for 10 seconds and say nothing else. Like, I'm making a point now, Dave. But Antonelli is fastest from Russell, Piastri and Norris. You top 4 at the moment. Again, reminder, everyone on new tyres apart from Gasly, Bortoletto and Lindblad, whose lap time was deleted. For track limits at turn 13, 131.537, which would have put him 10th anyway, so he's not really lost anything there, has Arvid Lindblad. Thank you very much to King Gannon, who I'm sure is Rocket Raccoon. I'm going to have to double check. It is indeed. Bloody hats on YouTube. Thank you for being a member, mate. He says, a member for 1 month. Of course, channel's not very old, so that's still a good chunk of time. Another month in the many months of being here. I was telling my girlfriend I've been watching you since 2017, started with the Vettel video. Love you, bruv. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate your support. 2017, by the way, Rocket Raccoon. Seems like a million years ago, doesn't it? But also weirdly like yesterday. But yeah, thank you for your continued support over the years. Yeah, wow. So 2017. So we are that's nearly a decade, isn't it? 9 years this June since the other channel started. This one's been going, I think, for 4 months properly now. Well, I'd say we started in soft launch November, December, and January, and then we went a bit harder in Feb, didn't we? And now we've really launched. So, but is it 8 years since Silverstone ST? You lie. Track limits, Neelish, for track limits for Lindblad's time. Yeah, it was at turn 13, so 1:31. It's disappeared off the timing tower now for some reason. 1:31.537, turn 13. I think the first video was, why do people hate Hamilton one? Still need you to realise the so-called spicy comments. Release. Oh, I got, yeah. Spicy isn't the word. It begins with an R, has an A in it, and ends in ist. And that's not a people don't like Lewis Hamilton, so they must be thing. That is, I have the comments to back that up. Some people are just arseholes. It's as simple as that. But that video was, yeah, 1.6 million views, I think, in the end that had. So still, it's still the best performing video every month on the channel, but it would be, wouldn't it? Because nothing else goes up anymore. So, you know, but yeah, that was a good one. My favourite one was The Curious Case of Nico Hulkenberg, because I love that title, that's all. Yes, ST, I was Million Apprentice then, now I'm old and married. You're not old. You're still like 18 or whatever. For those who are new around here, by the way, ST came all the way from Norway to Silverstone, and we spent the weekend watching F1 together, which was, and F2 and F3, I think, as well. A lot of fun. Expensive, but a lot of fun. Pot noodles without a fork was was interesting, that's for sure. Oh dear, that was so long ago. My God, that feels like forever ago. 3 minutes 44. But if you're wondering why I'm just waffling nonsense, welcome to the channel. This is pretty much it, and has been for nearly a decade now when you include the other channel. But yes, we're waiting for drivers to get back out on track, and here we go. So I'll keep an eye on your chat, but I'm going to move on to watching the last 3 minutes of this session now. Kai says, Curious Case of Nico was my first video. There you go. That's why it's my favourite. There you go. But yes, we'll watch the last 3 minutes of this now. We're going to get the cars drive. This is the bit that matters, isn't it? In a qualifying watch, on the bit that really matters. We can testing stream the first 45 minutes or whatever, but this is where it really matters now. So we'll keep a good close eye on this one. Some would say it all matters. I suppose it does for teams further down, but this is the bit that people want to know. Who got pole? Who's it going to be? Will it be Kimi Antonelli, who looks very, very good out there, or George Russell? Or could we get a surprise? Could there be a surprise? Could Leclerc or Hamilton or one of the McLarens shock us to our core? It'd be good to see a split at the front. But as a Ferrari fan, I'd love to see him up there. But also, I kind of don't want them up there, because you know that they're just going to, they're going to lead into turn one, and then we're just going to have the same opening couple of laps as we had in Australia and China, which some would say is great, and that's fine. But be nice to see something a bit different play out this weekend. Neely says Piastri pole to DNS. It could happen. It could happen. I mean, George Russell's having a bit of a rough time out there. He's still second at the moment. So, I mean, you know, things aren't going that bad, are they? Right then, Kimi Antonelli through turn one and turn two, of course. Not a surprise that follows. Then he's going to snake up the hill in that Mercedes. George Russell not too far behind. Just watching I'll keep an eye on that brake. I'm just really intrigued by where they are braking around here. They're quite a bit through turn 4 there. I didn't mean turn 4. I meant turn 6. Honest. That was a genuine mistake. I meant turn 6. Through the first exit, and then into the second one. He is improving, but not the fastest first sector. George Russell, though, has just gone marginally quicker. Marginally quicker. Half a tenth than his teammate. So George Russell's in this here. I mean, this is, for the whole me versus you thing, this is a battle between us for a point for pole. Black and white flag for Lewis Hamilton driving unnecessarily slowly in pit exit road. Just so you're aware. Yes, this is the battle for a point in our predictions scrap this year. Antonelli's actually down in the middle sector by 800ths on his own time. So all of a sudden, then George Russell's a tenth and a half down nearly. So this is interesting that Mercedes have lost all that time in the middle sector. Track temperature has changed, 27.3. So Antonelli goes purple. Does improve, I think. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't improve. Russell crossed the line. He doesn't improve either. So we could get a surprise here. Antonelli looking good. Piastri improved in the first sector. Nothing in the middle sector, though. What's he going to do when he comes to so Norris is 4th. We're watching Piastri. Leclerc's going to be interesting. He's gone purple to first. Ooh. Charles Leclerc has really gone purple in the first sector. Keep an eye on Charles here. Piastri only 3rd. So at the moment, it's a Mercedes front row lockout. Hamilton is not improving. That is the checkered flag. He is not improving at all on this lap. Might do something special in the final sector, but it will need to be. It's not going to be pole. In fact, it is going to be P6 at the moment for Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc, though, we've seen him purple before in the first sector today. Can he keep this up? Understeering through Spoon. Gasly. Bortoleto goes 8th. Gasly down to 9th. I'm going to keep an eye on Charles Leclerc here. Through the midst of 11-2 to beat. He's 3/10 down. This is there's something in that middle sector. So he's lost all that time in the middle sector. But again, everyone seems to be losing time except Pierre Gasly in that middle sector, who goes 7th for Pierre Gasly. Charles Leclerc, he got us all excited and goes P4. So Oscar Piastri's P3. It is Kimi unless anyone's going to surprise us. No, that is it. Kimi Antonelli on pole position for the second race in a row. I get a point in predictions. George Russell P2. Oscar Piastri P3. Charles Leclerc P4. Norris P5. I'll go through all the times in just a moment. Don't you worry about that. But I tell you what, having Leclerc, I just spotted Michael say, God, I hope the race isn't a procession. Having Leclerc in 4th, I'd still fancy him to threaten for the lead, or to threaten the Mercedes into turn 1, given how fast starting that Ferrari is. But it makes it a lot harder than previous weekends, doesn't it, that we've had this season for Ferrari to jump the Mercedes pair. So that's something to bear in mind. But Kimi Antonelli, did you know, youngest ever pole sitter in F1 history last weekend, or weekend before. He's just gone and doubled up now. So well done to him. Like I said, I'll run through the times in a minute. But Kimi Antonelli on pole. It is a Mercedes front row lockout. So, yeah, not anyone surprised. I will run through the times in just a minute. I'm just going to watch the initial getting out the car. I'll run through the times. Then we'll stay and do Q&A for about half an hour, and then I'm going to go back to bed for a bit because I've got a late night tonight. If I am hungover for the stream tomorrow, I love you all and I'm sorry. Golf balls. Golf bosses have noticed this new generation of F1 cars have indicated in the wing mirrors. Do you think that is why BMW aren't in the sport anymore? Thank you for your super chat, mate. That's superb. That is superb. I love that. Yes, they do have hazard lights, we'll call them, rather than indicators, but that's nice. Dave liked that. So did Nilesh as well. I'm sure others too. See you later, Michael, mate. If you are disappearing, by the way, thank you for joining me. Live tomorrow, I suspect about 9 a.m. UK time for the race reaction. I think with John T. Need to double check, but if I turn up on my own, you know that I was wrong and I misunderstood what was happening this weekend, but not a great surprise. Thank you for your support on the stream if you are disappearing. Really appreciate it. And there's something else I was going to say, and it's gone. That's annoying. Yeah, race reaction tomorrow. 9 a.m. Oh, yes, that's it. If you're in the UK, clocks, I don't know if Europe is the same as well on the continent, but or on the mainland. We're on the continent, but mainland Europe might be the same as well. Clocks go forward 1 a.m. Tonight, I guess, first thing tomorrow morning, so bear that in mind. So your race start time is 6 a.m. BST, not GMT, just so you know. If I'm not here for the race reaction, you know what's gone wrong. But that's what's happened to Leclerc then in the middle sector. Very sideways. Big correction through the exit of Spoon there. That's where some of that time's gone. It didn't look too bad off board. But anyway, let's have a run through the times then. Kimi Antonelli is on pole position for the 2026 Japanese Grand Prix. Second pole in a row for the young, I'm going to say Finn, because they called him Kimi Antonelli on the podium, Kimi Räikkönen on the podium last week. So we'll go with the young Finn, but of course he is Italian. I know that. George Russell, P2, 3 tenths off his teammate. Not happy in that car today, but still a front row lockout for Mercedes. Oscar Piastri, the curveball this weekend, in 3rd place. Will he start the race? That's the big question on everyone's lips, I'm sure. Will he actually get to start? Bless him. Half a tenth off George Russell, just over half a tenth off George Russell, so not bad at all, and something to keep an eye on as Jean Alesi is doing the post-qualifying interviews. What a legend. Underrated driver. Love Jean Alesi. Charles Leclerc, P4. Little mistake through the middle sector. Yeah, okay, the Mercedes overalls are bloody awful. Yeah, you were right, chat, you were right. But Charles Leclerc, P4, mistake on the exit of Spoon. A lot of correction there, which cost him quite a chunk in the middle sector. But a lot of drivers were not improving the middle sector, to be fair. So maybe the change in track temperature a factor there. Lando Norris, P5, 6 tenths off the fastest time and 4 thousandths off the Ferrari of Leclerc, with Lewis Hamilton only in 6th place. So interesting to see what Leclerc and Hamilton do off the line tomorrow. From there, can Leclerc threaten the Mercedes still into turn one? Maybe Russell. Antonelli might be okay. They might have to work together to keep him at bay. Pierre Gasly, again, just Pierre Gaslying. That's going to be a thing now. P7 for him, less than a second off the fastest time. Isack Hadjar, again out-qualifying Max Verstappen. Second time in 3 races, although some might argue it's unfair to say that after Australia because Verstappen had an issue which caused a crash, but still... it's impressive from Hadjar. 8th place for him. Bortoletto 9th, really great from him. And Arvid Lindblad got into Q3 as well. P10 for Lindblad, 1.5 seconds off the fastest time. Max Verstappen knocked out in Q2. He will start 11th at best, with Esteban Ocon 12th and Nico Hülkenberg in 13th. Liam Lawson qualified 14th with Franco Colapinto 15th and Carlos Sainz in 16th place. Not much of a win, but it is a Q2 for Sainz and Williams, so it's something, given the troubles they've been having. Alex Albon, 17th in the end, wasn't happy with his driving style, he said on the radio, then refused to elaborate to Rachel Brooks. Ollie Bearman, 18th place. Probably the surprise of Q1, to be honest. Bearman getting knocked out and in the end out qualified by 6 places by his teammate. So there you go. So I'm not I don't know, he said something there. Sergio Perez, P19. Valtteri Bottas in 20th for Cadillacs. So both Cadillacs ahead of both Aston Martins. Again, doesn't sound like a big win, but for a new team, that's a big win. So well done to them. Fernando Alonso was 21st and Lance Stroll 22nd. So yes, if you have any questions, please do get them in chat. Any comments you want me to read, I will do a few. We'll stay live for about 23 minutes. That's specific, but that's 7:30 UK time, so I can go back to bed then and get ready for tonight. So, get your questions in and things like that. So, Neelish says, did anything in particular happen to Russell this weekend, or is he just off in quali for whatever reason? He wasn't happy with his car. I think he said back end. Wasn't confident, wasn't comfortable with his car, so that's part of the problem for him. He was on the radio quite a bit complaining about it, so I assume a setup issue or maybe something they can tweak for the race. But even prior to that, Antonelli looked, I wouldn't say nailed on for pole. You never nailed on for pole, but he looked very much the favourite coming into qualifying, and indeed as the session went on. So whatever's going on with Russell, hopefully he can sort that for tomorrow. But if not, Antonelli might get to take another win, which will put him top of the championship, I believe, wouldn't it? So just saying. Antonelli's car is incredible, smooth all around, says Tommy. The onboards we saw with him, I mean, that's a good point, actually. The onboards we saw with Antonelli and Russell definitely seemed to have to fight the car more than Antonelli did. Obviously, I was saying that based on what we've just watched while live, so maybe I'll watch it later and I'll see it differently, but at the moment, that's how it felt. So, yeah. Congrats to Leclerc for his third place start tomorrow. Says fun. No faith at all in poor Oscar Piastri getting out of bed in time. The race is whenever the doggo wakes me up, says ST. I get that. Although Baxter wasn't very happy with me this morning when my alarm went off at 4:15. I got a look and he went back to sleep. Oscar must have the record for most points for the least amount of starts, says Alfie. That's a great... Do you know what? That's something to go look at, actually. Yeah, not now. That's a great stat. That's a very good stat because he's not started a race, has he? But he has got points on the board because of the sprint. Yeah, I like that. Sad Mariners fans going to go get some sleep. Take care, mate. No worries. Michael's gone as well. I think I said bye to Michael. We'll say bye again. And I did read the excellent super chat there from Golf Balls. Rocket Raccoon is off to bed. Says good night, Sean. See you after the race. Love from the Lone Star State. Take care, mate. Have a good one. Get some sleep, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, you have a good day when you get up. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's fine. But yeah, I think really your talking points from the session today. Antonelli pole, obviously. Piastri probably not surprise. Well, I suppose it's a bit of a surprise. I thought Ferrari would be more competitive this weekend, but the gap is still pretty big. I mean, he's 3/10 off the fastest time, 3.5 tenths. Leclerc's nearly 3/10 further back. So Mercedes still look very comfortable. Pierre Gasly again, great lap from him. And Max Verstappen getting knocked out, really, your big talking points. But I've put 18 finishes in my predictions for tomorrow's race. I hope we get 18 starters. So if he DNS's tomorrow, he'll have the Miami Sprint to cement that record, says Neelish. There you go. Thanks for the coverage, says Adrian. See you like a Rizzo. Hopefully all my Aussie slang will rub off on you and pretty soon nobody will be able to understand the words you'll say. I'll Google all these, and if I've said something dodgy, I'm so sorry. It's all Adrian's fault. Take care, mate. Have a good one. We'll catch up tomorrow, I'm sure. ST says I've got 12 finishers. Yeah, that's... So what are your predictions then for tomorrow then, chat? Get your top 3 in for tomorrow's race. What did I say? I said... Let me get my graphic up. If this ends up on screen, I apologise. It's because I've moved things around and I keep forgetting. But I can't remember what my predictions were. There we go. So I said Russell pole. Oh, no, you guys got the point. I was wrong. I said Russell pole. I'm so sorry. I laughed at you. You're wrong. You're wrong, Sean. You guys got the points. We are level on points now in predictions. So well done to Kieran there. So Russell on pole, I said. Then I said Leclerc for the win. I need to hope for a half point there. I think Russell second and Hamilton third. Again, I think I need for at least a half point there. Fastest lap, Hamilton, 18 finishes, and my bold one was Lindblad top 7, which is probably the most doable of all of those, frankly. So there you go. Yeah. Sorry, chat. I was telling you off. I was laughing at you as Toto turns up in his interesting Mercedes jacket that says Mercedes across it, in case you weren't sure who he works for. Yeah, so you got the point. So that's is that 5.5 points each now? Oh, the drama. It's all very exciting. ST. Well, Rocket Raccoon says, never stick around to the end of the stream, lol, but yes, I'll tell you all about the move tomorrow. There we go. ST says, Anthony, Russell, Leclerc, top 3. Stewie says, I think Leclerc can do it from P4, to be fair. Leclerc, Anthony, Norris is a top 3. Oh, expect some drama there, Stewie. I like that. Yeah, I'd take that one. And Rocket Raccoon says Anthony, Russell, Hamilton again as a top 3. Cadenza, hey Cadenza, says George, Kimi, and Oscar. Yeah, I could see that. That's it's tricky to overtake here. Maybe have a go at the hairpin. Maybe the final chicane and into the first corner when you've got down that straight, but it's a tough place to overtake, so it could just be a case of who gets the best start. A bit like last year was nobody thought Max was going to win, did they? And he took pole, which surprised everyone. Then he just sort of led, and that was it. Nothing really happened, did it? All race, as I recall. Tommy says Antonelli, Russell, Leclerc. I'm figuring the Ferrari will have pace. I hope so. I'd like a Ferrari win before we go to Miami. It would be a shame given... Sorry, fluff on my mic. It'd be a shame given the solid start to the season they've had if they can't get a win in the first 3 races. So I'm hoping. Two-wheel driver says Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton as a top 3, so no Mercedes. So intrigued by what two-wheel driver... Are we thinking turn 1 collision between the Mercs or a mechanical problem? They'll have one at some point, I'm sure. But, yeah. Cadence says, I wish, but it's not happening next year. Yeah. I had 2 video ideas based on how the weekend went for the April break. One of them isn't going to get used unless Leclerc wins tomorrow. So I changed my prediction for Antonelli pole to Russell pole 1 minute before quali. This is hurting, says Rohan. Ouch. Oh, that's a shame. 1 minute before quali as well, yeah. I mean, look, Antonelli had the upper hand. It's been an interesting weekend, actually, if you value or enjoy practice. Russell fastest in P1. Piastri fastest in P2. Antonelli fastest in P3. So, actually, the top 3 being the 2 Mercs and Piastri is probably not that surprising, looking at how the weekend's gone so far. So it is interesting that so I can understand why you would change that to Russell. It's been close, but actually Antonelli seemed pretty solidly on for it. 3/10 clear of Russell is a decent gap back to your teammate in what is a very, very good car. So far more experienced teammate and apparently team leader. So there you go. Look, it's nothing against anybody else on the grid. I would love Antonelli to win the title this year. It's a long way to go. I know talk about titles in race 3 is stupid, but I'd love that. I just love it. Do that in his second season, like Hamilton did, of course, in 2008. Youngest champion by quite a way, actually. I think Vettel was 21, 22, somewhere around there. So somebody asked me this the other week, and I did actually check it up, but somebody will tell me what the answer is to that one. But yeah, it'd be good to see, but long old way to go yet. Will this pain for Max end, says Stewie? Don't feel like it. Look, Red Bull had domination, then struggled, then dominated, they're struggling again. They'll be back. I think they need to keep hold of him, but yeah. The discipline of a champion is special, says Tommy. Antonelli on pole, I'm liking this season, says a Yinka. Hey, Yinka. Neely says, how high are the chances the FIA does an FIA and doesn't let the ADUO happen at Miami because it's no longer round 6? So, as I understand the regulations, it specifies race 6, doesn't it? Which I know is the point you're making there, Neelish. So, it's not... It's not dated, so it doesn't say on this date. It says round 6. So, if the FIA stuck with that, I think that would be fair by the regulations. But I feel like they could shuffle that and change that to Miami in the regs. Because otherwise, these teams that feel they need the extra time to catch up and the extra freedom that rule offers up, they're going to have to wait until Monaco in June. It's a tricky one. I'm trying to think of how it'd be a bit unfair on those who've done a good job after just 3 races to have to deal with their rivals being allowed to try and catch up. But at the same time, waiting till June also seems mad, doesn't it? So let's see what happens. They've got, look, there's a 4-week gap. It is officially 5 weeks, but there's 4 weeks with nothing happening. They can sit down, come up with the tweaks they want to make to the regulations, maybe change that rule as well. it's not they've not got anything to do in April now, have they? Apart from the teams have got to develop their cars a bit more. But yeah, the FIA could address this then, so hopefully they will. It seems like the recharge meta isn't fully figured out by all the teams yet, says Addy Boy. No, and I tell you, talking recharge and stuff, I know a lot of people hate it, but it is interesting to watch. And it was the case in Australia how drivers are having to learn on the fly with things like deployment and recharge. That adds a bit of skill to it, and it's at least that's a positive. But yeah, I get it. I'm not going to get into it again today. We've talked about it a lot over the last few weeks. So, but yeah, no, it's good to see the drivers having to try and work it out on the fly. Do you think Merc are hiding their true pace to not make the gap in engine as big as the teams don't get the proper upgrades? Says Stewie. Well, possibly, but I know Ferrari say they think that they should qualify for this freedom to update. Mercedes probably disagree. So this could get political. I know. In F1. Who'd have thunk it? Look. Aston and Honda absolutely qualify. No doubt about that whatsoever. Red Bull and Racing Bulls probably qualify. Audi as well. But I don't, Ferrari, that's going to get messy, isn't it? I can see Mercedes saying no, they don't. Ferrari saying yes, we do. But I mean, look, if I was Mercedes, I'd play that game. If I can leave X percent of my power unit performance on the table and still get 3-1-2 finishes, let's say, if they do that tomorrow in the opening 3 races, I'd do it if it means that my likely main rival isn't going to be able to upgrade their engine. It seems petty, and some would say it's unfair, but that's the games that are played in F1, so it's what I'd do. It might be a bit shitty, but play the game. Ferrari would do exactly the same in that position if they could, and I wish they could. But they just don't, do they? Audi's PU says Mr. Good Times. Hey, Mr. Good Times says is actually quite good. Just saying, opinions. Yeah, they are. One of the surprises this year for me. I said it earlier, in case you weren't here, but they've taken over an experienced team, so they seem to have a good car, which isn't that surprising because we know Sauber can build a good car when they were Sauber. But for them to build a brand spanking new power unit from scratch, having never been in F1 before, it's very impressive. Red Bull, the job they've done with their power unit, it's not where they want it to be, but it's impressive for them as well. But Red Bull have Ford involved and took a lot of Honda personnel as well. I'm sort of more impressed with what Audi have done. So yeah, no, I agree. Really impressed by them so far this season. Long old way to go, of course. And I imagine that midfield is going to get quite tight come the end of the season, which is great because it's already pretty closely competitive anyway. But yeah, that's ST says Honda could learn something from Audi. Yeah. Honda left, came back, then left, then kept winning with Red Bull and went, actually, we want to come back because, put our name on the car, we look great. And then they wanted to stay for these new regs and they've thus far failed. Of course, that's ridiculous if in 3 years' time they solve their problems and Aston and Honda are fighting for world titles. But as of today, they failed and they need to turn that around. So they definitely need this balance of performance. Well, it's not balance of performance, is it? That's not what I mean at all. The power unit. Oh, I forgot what it's called. The freedom to make the changes they need to. Unfreezing, if you like, so they can get on with it. But yeah. No worries at all, Mr. Good Time. I always try to interact with people. It says exactly that. They are a brand new power unit manufacturer. Thanks for the interactions. No problem at all. I love. We're a community here. We talk, and not just through super chats. I read normal chat as well. I don't know what you could chat. Just call it chat rather than super chats. But yeah, it's the support is appreciated. But I'm always going to come to you in chat because it's I like talking about F1 with F1 fans. Surprised Alonso didn't just take this race off to be with his new baby. Let someone else suffer this car for a race. He's a racer though, isn't he? Is Fernando. he's one actually to watch this season, because I'm sure he said something last year along the lines of, if we have a car that can win the World Championship, I'm more likely to retire than if we have a bad car, because I'm going to want to help the team fix it. It was something along those lines. I'd be interested if he stays true to that word if things continue the way they are. And lots of drivers have said this in the past, babies change you in Formula One. So he might want to call it a day after this season. I hope not. I'm happy to have Fernando on the grid forever if he needs to be. That's absolutely fine. Gutted that Aston Martin poached Wheatley, says Cadenza. Audi was arguably the most exciting, promising project on the grid. Nothing official on that front. I'll say that. I don't need to say that anymore. No, I don't need to be careful anymore, do I? Yeah, he's off to Ferrari, really, is Wheatley. Yeah, let's speculate. No, nothing official from Aston Martin yet. It does seem it would be one hell of a coincidence if Aston Martin had been chasing Wheatley, Adrian Newey stepped back from what was a temporary role as team principal, and then days later Wheatley resigned from Audi. It'd be a huge coincidence if he didn't end up at Aston Martin. A shock, sorry, if he didn't end up at Aston Martin. A coincidence all that happened at the same time. But stranger things have happened in F1. But I think it looks like he's going to go there. So, and actually, he's worked with Newey before, hasn't he? So they've got a good working relationship, I'm sure. Made my peace with Fernando wanted to leave now, says a Yinka. He should be able to feel his baby with his hands. It's again, babies change people, but they certainly change F1 drivers as well. So he might decide he wants to call it a day, but I don't know. It's the same with Hamilton. They are both in the twilight years of their career. Their careers are coming to an end. It's just when they decide to go for it. We'll see. I hope he sticks around a bit longer. I'd like to see him at least get a shot at another shot at number 3. He's had plenty of shots at number 3, but another shot at number 3 before he goes. Mercedes sandbagging would involve none of the other teams ever using the proper engine map for all the races before the ADUO testing. Technically possible, says Neelish. An experienced team that was a back mark in the last 5 years, though, says Cadenza. Yeah, but they've also built some good cars in the past and surprised, haven't they? So Cadillac have got some F1 experience in that they've brought people in, but if they'd have taken over Sauber, well, no, I was going to say that they might do an Audi as well, but actually if they'd taken over Sauber, they still have a Ferrari engine, wouldn't they? Don't know. Maybe they would have built a better car and they'd be the ones up there, and Audi would be further down if they'd started from scratch. But yeah, pure speculation. Lewis still needs to win the 8th first, though, right, Shaw, says Cadenza. I don't know. I've said this before, and it's not a case of I don't want Lewis Hamilton to win a world championship again. Michael Schumacher, my hero, has always said records are there to be beaten, right, or broken. But I'm not sure how I feel about Lewis Hamilton beating Michael Schumacher's 7 outright in a Ferrari. Part of me thinks that's quite poetic and it's a really cool way to do it. Another part of me doesn't like it. It's really weird and I can't shake it. If he'd done it at Mercedes, fine. But I don't know. Love you too, surprises no. We are ending in about 4 minutes, so you have come right at the end, mate, but it's still, you're here and that's great. Appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like though before I end the stream. That'd be appreciated, mate. But yeah, great to have you here. Hope you're having a good one. Lindblad is impressing. Stewie says Lindblad impressing again, I think. Yeah, 100%. Great lap, a very good lap in Q2 to get into Q3. P10, I've got him down for a P7 finish tomorrow. That sounds, or top 7 finish tomorrow. That sounds crazy, but he's going to be able to scrap Bortoletto. You know, Gasly, you'd expect to be fighting with him as well. It's going to be interesting. He would have a title with McLaren, Merc and Ferrari if that happened. That's true. That is true. Yeah, no, that would be quite nice. Yeah, no, actually, yeah. That's a good tick in the yes, I'd like to see him do it box. That's, yeah. 2008 with McLaren, 1 million titles with Mercedes between 14 and 20. And then, yeah, one with Ferrari. No, I get that, yeah. Maybe we'll get to Williams and win a title there as well. There you go. That's a good plan. That's a great plan. I've read that one. Doesn't matter. I mean, we all knew it was going to be dog poo. Whatever we heard, it was Honda times Alonso. Never a good time. Alonso said that in Japan even, says Esteban. Yeah. So as soon as Honda went to Aston, we all knew deep down inside that Alonso was going to end up on the wrong end of it again, didn't we? I have to. Well, I say, yeah, I mean, we're joking around, but I am quite surprised that they're as bad as they are. This isn't the same as, because Honda disappeared end of 2008, didn't they? And then came back for 2015. So that's quite a gap. And I know they said they'd left, but they hadn't really left Red Bull. They were still sort of there, and then they came back and said they were still there. So they have been in F1 pretty much non-stop since 2015. So this isn't a sudden decision to come back. This is something that they've been around for the last regulations, for most of those, and the start of these new ones, and of course the start of the ground effect era. But it's just quite surprising they've got it as badly wrong as they have, I guess is my point. But some might argue that it's typical Honda. Honda haven't always been like this, by the way. They used to be very good at doing this job. It's these vibrations that I worry about, and I hope they can fix it, because we want every team to be competitive, right? Not necessarily fighting for the title. We want them to be competitive with each other. We don't want drivers only being able to do 15 to 30 laps or whatever, and having to retire because of vibrations. We don't want a team cut away at the back of the grid. We want everyone fighting at the front, in the midfield, and at the back. So hopefully they can turn it around. They were late. They were there in the late 80s and 90s too. Yeah. No. Honda have been around a long time. I was talking about the gaps. So they left in 2008, came back in 2015. That's a fairly sizable gap. And then they moved to Red Bull, then said they were leaving, then changed their mind. You think they'd be able to take that momentum and then continue to build a decent engine. I know these are quite different, but yeah, they won titles with McLaren, 80s, didn't they? So, and early 90s, yeah. Senna won 91, didn't he? So, was that with Honda? I think it was. I might be wrong. You'll correct me. I'm sure, but yeah, no. Honda have been around a long time in F1. They're not recent, not a recent thing. It's just having the gap. I could forgive them 2015, given how big a gap it had been since they've been in F1 and a whole new power unit to build. Whereas, I'll check that on Twitter before I say anything. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat the point. I think you get what I'm saying. I just want to double check. Nothing. No. In the 90s, Honda had a V12 and a V10, I believe, in the 91 season. Yeah, there's that period with McLaren where I think there was like Honda and Tag and did have Peugeot briefly, I think. I'm not going to read that until I've just checking for actual confirmation on anything, but nothing at the moment. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but yeah. I'll just stay alive a minute. No. I'm fairly sure that's bollocks. In chat, I'm not going to read it. If you're in chat, you'll see it. Because there's no way the FI have made that decision in 15 minutes. So, just did some extremely important research. Arvid Lindblad is the joint second shortest driver alongside Antonelli, both behind Hadjar, says Neil. That is important research. In fact, that's possibly the most important research of the season so far, Neilish. I didn't think Lindblad was short until I saw him next to Liam Lawson. So yeah, I didn't really realise. McLaren had the V12 in 91 and Tyrrell had the V10 in 91. But they definitely ran a Peugeot engine, didn't they, did McLaren at one point? I feel like it was only a year. And then Mercedes came in, didn't they? I think. We're speculating about. I'm talking about historical things and trying to work it out on the fly here, but I'm sure that's what happened. I might be wrong. You're correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody will know. I'm not going to go trawling through Wikipedia. 94 says Pascal. 95 says golf ball. So maybe it might be 94 and 95. And then Mercedes came in 96, I think, because they had the Marlboro livery, didn't they, for a long time. Then it was 97. They went to the Mercedes Silver, because I distinctly remember, and this is how my brain works. I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last night, but I know that McLaren tested in papaya in 97. They did testing in papaya, and then they moved to the Silver for the first race of the season. So, yeah. Well, I don't know if it was papaya or whether it was just orange, but I think the idea was that it was papaya. But yeah, it was the West black and silver, yeah, from 97 onwards. But yeah, they were still using the Marlboro livery in 96. Interesting one as well, if you care. David Coulthard raced in one of Michael Schumacher's helmets at Monaco that year as well. There you go. Charles Leclerc looks a bit flat. Talk about the FIA looking at making changes for the future, so he's not happy with his lap or the situation as it is at the moment in the sport. A lot of drivers not happy, and I have to say, it's good. It is good to see, and maybe I'm alone on this, but it is good to see that the drivers aren't all towing the line. They are coming out and saying, we don't like this, we're not happy with that, we think the other needs to change. I think that's good. We don't need 22 drivers going, yeah, these are great, honest. It's good to see them going, these need to change, or this needs to change, or whatever. Peugeot was McLaren in 94, says Pascal, and then the Peugeot went to Jordan in 95, and Mercedes went to McLaren. There you go. Thank you, Pascal. Rumoured that most of Honda's staff, those who were in the F1 engine department, were swapped to different projects, meaning they have had new staff with maybe a little bit of experience. Yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Good Times. Also, a little experience developing PUs, but also don't forget Red Bull poached a lot of them as well. So to be fair, if you've got a big team of people and a lot of those are new to it, maybe, yeah, that's a fair point. I actually love the 2006 livery. I almost wish they did the same style livery with the West logo as black. I think, controversial take, the West black and silver was better than the Vodafone McLaren livery. Oh my God, 2,000 people just unsubscribed. Yeah, I preferred that one, to be honest. Many of Honda's F1 staff went to work for Ford for Red Bull. Yeah, it's... We've run over, because I wanted to just check something, because there was a commented chat which is not true. But I wanted to check, because it would have been a big deal had it been true. So it was worth staying live for a little bit. So any more questions before I wrap up for today? As I say, I'm going to head back to bed and then get a couple of hours, and then I've got to head back to my hometown. It's not that far. Oh, I didn't tell you. You'll all care about this. I bought a new car this week. New to me car. It's a second-hand car. It's not exciting. It's not the Ferrari 458. I did have a look, but finance was a bit much, not gonna lie. It is only an 18-plate Corsa, but it's an SRI, so it's a little bit sportier, but not quite a VXR, which would have been nice. But it's it's 9 years younger than the car I had before, so it feels like a massive upgrade to me, because it even has like Bluetooth connectivity. My old car was still using the cigarette lighter for everything, so so it's a little bit of an upgrade. Nothing thrilling. It's not the dream car of mine, which is the 458, but you know, it's a nice little car, so I thought I'd let you know. So my little red Corsa has gone in, my Astra, has gone into retirement. Yes, I am a Vauxhall shill, apparently. There you go. Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, it has wheels and an engine. I know, right? The other car. I mean, what was it? 2009. How long ago was that? 17 years ago. It hadn't even done 100,000 miles. It was mechanically in great nick. but it suffered from your typical faded bonnet syndrome that red Vauxhalls, going back to the Vauxhall Nova, have always seemed to suffer with. The driver's side window didn't work. There was a crack in the windscreen. Things were starting to fall apart, and I thought, you know what? While I can afford it, let's get one now rather than having to wait until I can't afford it and then having to replace it. So that's what we did. So I'm gonna miss it. It was a good little car. Bless it. Weird how attached you get to a car, isn't it? Really, oddly. But anyway, I'm just sharing that with you because I was going to say I have to go back to my hometown for my birthday thing tonight. So I get to drive my new car, and if any family are watching, I love you all, but I'm more excited about driving the car to come and see you all than I am for the night itself. So that's sad. I'll have to get a lift back. It's quite a way back to Lincoln, but I will need to be here for the stream. So I can't not do a race reaction, having made such a fuss about bringing the race reactions back. So my partner will be designated driver tonight, so I get to drink. Haha. I know, CP, 17 years ago. Sean, I see you have to Flintstones that thing around. The 09 one I did, yeah, that was, yeah. Yes. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Then I said we've got going 9 minutes longer than I said I would, so we'll leave it there. Thank you for all your. Yeah, with these petrol prices, yabba dabba do, says Neelish. And when you beat on your car, it remembers that. Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah, we'll call it there. I will be back tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the end screen. Hang on. I don't know if I put all new names on here, but I will do that after this weekend. So I always try to update your members and patron names on the first of every month, but I'll try and do it as I go as well. But yeah. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. ish, probably with a headache, for the race reaction. Race start is 6 a.m. UK time. Don't forget the clocks go forward, so that's 6 a.m. BST, not GMT. Work that out for where you are. That'll be 1 a.m. US, and I believe 4 p.m. Australia AEDT, I think. So yeah, that's 6 a.m. UK tomorrow morning. I'll be live. I think Jonty is with me. I've forgotten what we agreed. I will check with him later. So if we are on the normal screen, we've just done the watch along, it's because Jonty's not with me. If we're on the reaction screen, it is because he's with me. So you'll know tomorrow. But anyway, there will be a stream tomorrow morning. Please do drop a like on this stream before you go. Really appreciate your support, and subscribe if you are new. We've got that reaction tomorrow. There'll be content during the spring break, and of course then we'll be gearing up for Miami in quite a few weeks' time. Too many weeks, but understandable. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Formula Sean, and until next time, goodbye.